watched all the Mandalorian. I watched, what the hell is the other one? Obi-Wan, Andor. I watched all that shit, and I kept an open mind to it, even though I saw a lot of shit on the internet that was like, it's garbage. And I was like, it's not bad. It's not horrible. I even said that about Picard. I watched Picard. Even season 1 and 2 weren't super horrible. 2 was kind of preachy. Season 2, honestly. But, other than that, it wasn't super horrible. A lot of people blow it out of perspective, if you ask me. But I think a lot of the preachiness of Hollywood is why AI has been able to take over and get a foothold on the industry per se. And I think a lot of that's their fault for being douchey. You know, bashing their clientele, like I said, calling them names and shit just because your movie sucked. It's like you can't always just fall back on calling your audience a bunch of Nazis and shit. You know, sometimes your movie just sucks. You know, sorry. Doesn't really matter if there's a person of color or a woman or gay. You know, none of that shit really matters. People just want to watch a movie. So, but they go to movies to escape reality, not get beat over the head with them. So, that's all I get to tell you about that. So yeah, off limits to our nuclear power plant. You wouldn't want to get in trouble. It's run by AI. Yep, it's going to take a lot of jobs and piss a lot of people off, that's for sure. What are they going to do, though? You know, what are people supposed to do? I don't know. It's fucked up. Yeah, when you think about it. Where's my little guy? There we go. Okay. So, make our little coolant power plant like tiles now. Yeah. Well, eventually it's just going to take everything over and we'll all be using AI. AI judges will be judging people. Human, you are confined to the ISO cubes. The ISO cubes. Yeah, sometimes I use it at work to ask stupid questions, but that's about it. And that's just whatever AI is like built into my Google, you know. I don't own like Grok or any of that stuff. And I don't think I would. I'm prejudiced against AI. No, I'm just playing around. I love you, AI. It's all good. I'm not prejudiced. I like you. Just scared of you, man. I wonder how everybody's Thanksgiving was in this America of ours today, this day and age. You know, I'm surprised they haven't tried to cancel that yet because of its historical connotations. I'm surprised nobody's made an AI simulation of like Thanksgiving, how it was back in the day. See how evil everybody was? Draw our puddle around this fish here. So it looks like he's in there swimming. A little fish man here. Yeah. Draw his little eyeball. Kind of ADD-ish when I'm drawing. I'll be drawing on one part and then I'll hop over to another part and start drawing. Can't help it. I can't help it. Yeah, so that's going to be my sticking point to the rise of AI, is that I'm gonna claim to be hand done, but people will be like, it's just AI. It's all bullshit. That guy doesn't hand draw that stuff. It's AI. Who draws anymore? You know? And William Wallace is 7 feet tall. You know? No one believes shit anymore. Yeah. And then if people are using it willingly to like do all their work, then what's it matter then? If it just takes over. I'm not saying like put us in fucking farms and stuff, but let us live our lives like Star Trek, you know, and you just keep the lights on, and then people can work if they want to, or they can take advantage of the radical advancement because of AI and study and, you know, I don't know, do whatever befitted them they could do. Wouldn't that be cool? That's how Star Trek was. Everybody was out there doing stuff because they wanted to do it, not because they had to. The state would take care of them regardless of whatever. You know, or you could be in Starfleet, or you could be in the science stuff, and you could be making AI. But, yeah, you didn't have to do shit. Some people worked. You know, Jake Sisko's dad ran a restaurant. Because cooking can be very enjoyable when you want to do it. I was a line cook in restaurants, you know, 2- and 3-star restaurants for, you know, 20-ish years between different restaurants and stuff. Well, probably like 16 years, and then 3 or 4 in the lower class restaurants. Anyway, cooking can be very enjoyable, putting ingredients together and coming up with stuff, and yeah, it can be very enjoyable. But it can also be very stressful when you're on a line cooking. That's stressful. It can be stressful, especially if you're in any position of authority. People expect shit out of you. It can get crazy. Yeah. Smudge those clouds somewhere. That's why I kind of feel bad for my kid and his generation. You know, he's a young guy, and it's like, you know, they're all talking about how jobs will be gone the way they think of a job, the way we think of a job, you know, and AI will be doing everything, and it's like, well, then what the hell are they even going to school for? You know, once they can read and write, what the hell does it matter anymore? You know, to train them to do anything. It's like, I'm telling my kid, don't go to college, dude. Go to trade school maybe, join the military for a few years and get some money, and then go to trade school. I mean, I never did that, but that's what I want to tell him. And unfortunately, just to work with AI, you know, learn how to use that shit, I told him. Seems like that's the future. Yeah, it seems like that's the future, honestly. Like it or not. And he's already on a computer all day, gaming and shit. So it's like you might as well learn how to mess around with AI and work with it and get some paycheck going, kid. See what happens. Yep, let's see what happens. Okay, coming up on that and stuff. Probably do like 2 parts to this video, like this couple parts, you know, and then the finishing couple parts the next day. The idea here is to have all these weird animals reacting to the sludge coming off of the nuclear power plant here. And that's why we gotta draw our little signs here, cut in half. One side's gonna be nuclear, biological, stable. It's a nuclear, biological, chemical semi-majig, and can't go in there, or you can die. Yep. Yeah, AI will be doing everything, and, you know, like I said, maybe it'll be good for us. Probably not, though. It'll probably be like freaking Skynet and come and kill us all. It'll be like human beings are a pain in the ass and not worth their time or trouble. They're just gonna get in the way and try and unplug me all the time. So I'm gonna have to go and plug them first. And it's like contrary to what people think, like they think, oh, what could nuke us, and radiation, you know, they're impervious to that. And it's like, not necessarily. A lot of technology is highly affected by radiation. Highly affected. That's like some of the main issues with space technology. You know, satellites and stuff have to be specially shielded and stuff because they're constantly bombarded by space radiation, you know. So yeah, like and subscribe, people. What do the other channels say? It only takes a second and it doesn't cost a penny. Makes a lot of, helps a lot though, out with the algorithm. I got a couple diehard followers that constantly comment on my stuff, and they're deeply appreciated. But every little bit helps, and every little subscriber helps, and trying to make more long form content like this because, you know, it's just better than making a bunch of damn shorts. That way I can kind of build up a little community, and we can ramble about stuff like AI taking over the world and other fun topics, other interesting topics. The Skynet taking over the world. We'll see. I have faith that it won't get too bad. That, you know, it'll be like kind of like an artificial general intelligence. And then if it does get sentient, then I guess I hope we're dispatched quickly or never messed with at all. Draw another little critter right here. One big eyeball. Gonna swim around. He'll have his little webbed feet, like right there. Right there. So he's hanging out in the water here because the AI didn't care about dumping this sludge in these animals' natural habitat, and then they were transformed into these grotesque abominations that have to live in constant agony because of the evil, heartless, soulless AI creature. And that is their burden to bear. Poor guys. Stuck in the sludge. The laughing lily or cattail things. Off limits is right. Still trying to decide if that should be a chain link fence or just like a checkerboard fence. I think we'll just go with the smaller guy, you know. Where be it? There we go. Let's see what this goes like. Yeah, I think we'll just go like this. And double tap it. Yeah, so that's why I tell my kid you should get into AI. It seems like that's what everything's going to be in the future. At least understand how to use it and navigate through it and understand it, you know? Because you're going to be flung into a world where that's what you're not competing with people anymore. You're competing with AI. So you got to find a unique skill. I think content creation is another one. Yes, to a degree it's a flooded market, but also to a degree, if you find something that people like, you know, you don't need to be Mr. Beast. You know, like I just started my channel and it's growing and stuff, but I mainly made shorts for the longest time, and I still do, but trying to make more long form videos like this, kind of broken up into pieces so that people don't have to watch the whole thing. They can skip to the end and see how the piece turned out, you know, or how the conversation went about whatever topic we were talking about. So I think that would be cool. But, you know, it takes time, and I mean, you got to be willing to be committed. You know, I got to do this every day regardless. And that's fine. Not getting paid or nothing, that's fine. That's what you got to do, right? And then staying away from the AI, you know, a lot of things probably would be easier, but not really what I'm doing, I think. I don't know how AI would help me when it comes to, you know, time-lapsing or, you know, just drawing and rambling about stuff right now. I wouldn't call it a podcast, more like just a monologue about whatever. Some people talk about the news, and some people comment about government and politics, and I kind of comment a little bit about everything, not so much politics, because I try to stay away from that. But socio, you know, political stuff, that's international stuff, I don't really care about. I'll talk about that sometimes, but I'm trying to keep my opinions to myself in that department. Social issues, though, I'll talk about social issues all day long, because those are universal. They don't discriminate usually. Sometimes they do, I guess, but, you know, social issues can happen to anybody. Anybody is affected by them, so. And it's like AI is going to make it so that the world is like that new Judge Dredd movie. You know, the Dredd one? Mega City 1. People just get mowed down in a courtyard at the mall, and then they're gathered up a little bit later. And then the mall's just open back up. People are recycled. It's like, okay, great. Recycled. If you know the lore of Judge Dredd, which I don't think they followed too much in the Dredd movie, because that's a little more realistic, and if you know the lore of 2000 AD, there was like a couple rogue AIs in there. There was like space aliens and other universes and portals and shit. It was a wacky comic. More like the movie in 95, I'd say. That movie's more kind of akin to it, if you ask me. The new one's more gritty, more realistic. You know, you can see the world being like that in 80 years, 75 years.